It was a serene morning in Copenhagen, the city painted in spring's delicate hues, when a statement from Amalienborg Palace shattered the calm with thunderous implications. The Royal House of Denmark, an institution rooted in centuries of tradition and restrained diplomacy, issued an unexpected and unsettling announcement, one that centered on none other than Queen Mary, the woman who has become both a modern icon and the heart of the monarchy. The reverberations from this royal bombshell have not ceased. Citizens, courtiers, and international observers alike are trying to interpret the full weight of this development. What did Queen Mary say? What led to this announcement? Why now? And why does it feel like a turning point for the Danish crown? Today, we take you deep inside this stunning development, its emotional undercurrents, the political significance, the whispers from within palace walls, and the broader implications for the Danish royal family. This is not just a royal update, it is a chapter in history unfolding in real time. On May 23, 2025, the Royal House released a terse yet deeply evocative statement, confirming that Queen Mary had personally initiated a review of certain internal royal protocols. The official explanation was diplomatic, couched in terms of modernization, streamlining, and alignment with contemporary values. But the undertone was unmistakable. Something serious was brewing. The wording of the announcement sparked immediate curiosity. Queen Mary, usually composed and cautious, was described as being deeply concerned about the direction of certain aspects of royal protocol. The nature of her concern was not explicitly detailed, which only fueled speculation. Was there a scandal waiting to erupt? Had Queen Mary encountered resistance in her efforts to modernize the monarchy? Or was there tension within the royal family that had reached a breaking point? To understand why this announcement is so significant, we must revisit who Queen Mary is, and how she became one of the most admired royal figures in Europe. Born Mary Elizabeth Donaldson in Hobart, Tasmania, Mary never seemed destined for a royal life. Her rise to become Queen of Denmark is not just a love story, it is a tale of transformation, ambition, and fierce resilience. Since her marriage to Crown Prince Frederik in 2004, Mary has redefined what it means to be a queen consort. She has become a symbol of elegance, intellect, and advocacy. Her passion for social causes, particularly women's rights, anti-domestic violence initiatives, and children's welfare, has not only endeared her to the Danish people but also made her a global role model. So when a woman like Queen Mary expresses concern, people listen. The stakes are instantly high. According to several royal insiders, speaking on condition of anonymity, tensions have been simmering inside the palace for months. One well-placed source claimed Queen Mary has felt isolated in her efforts to implement much-needed changes in royal operations. She's not just a ceremonial figure, the source explained. Queen Mary has opinions, and she's not afraid to act when something goes against her principles. But that kind of leadership can unsettle more traditional elements within the royal house. Insiders hint that the Queen has been pushing for greater transparency in royal finances, streamlined roles for extended family members, and more proactive engagement with the Danish public. However, these moves have allegedly met quiet resistance, particularly from certain courtiers and advisors who prefer the monarchy to remain steeped in its old ways. Queen Mary's recent solo appearances have been noticeably more frequent and more symbolic. At several events, she chose to wear jewelry associated with Queen Margrethe II, signaling a deep respect for the monarchy's past while also presenting herself as the heir to its future. Body language experts noted subtle signs of tension during her recent public engagements. At a state dinner earlier this month, Queen Mary appeared poised but distant, her smiles tight, her eyes momentarily distant during formal speeches. These nuances, though small, did not escape the gaze of those trained to observe royal comportment. Was this emotional distance an early indicator of the internal strain now publicly acknowledged by the royal house? King Frederik X, Mary's husband, has remained notably silent on the announcement, adding yet another layer of intrigue. The royal couple, who just celebrated their first year on the throne following Queen Margrethe's abdication, have long been admired for their unified front. But recent developments suggest a potential divergence in priorities. One palace aide confided that King Frederik has always preferred a more cautious approach to reform. He respects Mary deeply, the aide noted, but he sometimes fears that rapid changes could disrupt the delicate balance the monarchy has with the public. If there is indeed tension between king and queen, political rather than personal, it may explain Frederick's current reticence. Or perhaps his silence is a calculated move, allowing Queen Mary the space to speak directly to the people without overshadowing her message. The public response has been swift and impassioned. Danish newspapers and international media outlets have devoted front pages to the development, with headlines ranging from Queen Mary's bold stand to royal rift in Copenhagen. Social media, too, has erupted. A growing number of Danes have taken to Twitter and Instagram to voice support for their queen, praising her courage and moral clarity. A viral post by Danish journalist Liv Jorgensen read, "Queen Mary is not just raising alarms, she's sounding the wake-up call we didn't know we needed." Esteemed royal analyst Drive, Lars Olesen believes this moment could be a defining turning point. "We are witnessing the evolution of a constitutional monarchy in real time," he said. Queen Mary's concern is a reflection of the modern world's pressure on royal institutions to be more than ceremonial. They must be relevant, responsible, and responsive. Olesen adds that the royal house's vague language may be intentional, a way of giving Mary room to maneuver without igniting a full-blown crisis. Beyond Denmark, royal watchers across Europe are comparing Queen Mary's stance to other reform-minded royals. Some liken her to Queen Letizia of Spain, who has also pushed for modernization, while others see echoes of Princess Diana's emotional candor and Princess Catherine's commitment to duty. Could Queen Mary's alarm become a catalyst for broader changes across European monarchies? As Denmark awaits further clarification, several key developments are expected. A royal press conference. Rumors swirl that Queen Mary may address the public directly in the coming weeks, an extremely rare move for a royal consort. Policy papers leaked. There's talk that internal documents outlining Queen Mary's reform agenda may be leaked, shedding light on her specific concerns. Shift in public duties. Watch for shifts in who performs public duties. If Queen Mary takes a step back or takes on more prominent roles, it will speak volumes. A new era. If Queen Mary succeeds in pushing through her vision, we may be witnessing the beginning of a new royal era in Denmark. In an age when monarchies are often dismissed as relics of the past, Queen Mary of Denmark has reignited the conversation about what it truly means to wear a crown. Her courage to speak up, her insistence on reform, and her refusal to play the role of passive figurehead mark her as one of the most compelling royal figures of our time. The Queen's concern may have raised alarms, but it has also raised hope. Hope that royalty can evolve. Hope that tradition can coexist with transparency. Hope that a woman of integrity and vision can shape the future of a nation, not merely inherit its legacy. Queen Mary has dared to shake the palace walls, and the world is listening. The Danish royal house, known for its meticulous discretion, released a bombshell announcement that has thrown Denmark's centuries-old monarchy into a rare spotlight. The words were carefully chosen, the tone restrained, but the implications are nothing short of seismic. At the center of it all stands Queen Mary, no longer just Denmark's beloved consort, but a voice of deep concern, perhaps even royal resistance. From the opulent halls of Amalienborg Palace to the lively streets of Copenhagen, all eyes are now on Mary. Her expression, composed yet grave, during her latest public appearance has become symbolic. Her silence until now was an emblem of grace. But today, she has chosen to speak, not just with words, but with a powerful royal stance that is shaking foundations. Before we unravel the announcement, we must understand the journey of the woman behind it. Mary Elizabeth Donaldson was once just a girl from Hobart, Tasmania, an ambitious advertising executive with a sharp intellect and magnetic poise. Her encounter with Crown Prince Frederik during the 2000 Sydney Olympics would alter not only her destiny but the course of the Danish monarchy itself. Their courtship unfolded quietly but culminated in a wedding that captivated the world in 2004. Overnight, Mary became a princess. Over time, she evolved into a symbol of grace, dignity, and modernity. With her fluency in Danish and deep respect for Danish traditions, Mary was not just accepted, she was embraced. She became a mother of four: Christian, Isabella, Vincent, and Josephine. She built an image of perfection, but underneath was a woman with a mission. The statement came on a spring morning. It was brief, direct, and shocking. Her Majesty Queen Mary has requested a review of internal protocols, citing the need for greater transparency, modernization, and alignment with constitutional values. For royal watchers, these words were a clarion call. For palace insiders, it was confirmation of months of tension. And for the people of Denmark, it was the beginning of a new, uncertain chapter. What prompted this? Why now? According to our sources, Queen Mary had been deeply frustrated with what she perceived as inertia inside the royal house, resistance to change, opacity in decision-making, and a growing disconnect between tradition and the modern world. Our investigation brings us into the heart of Amalienborg Palace, where insiders are now cautiously speaking out. One senior royal aide, who has served under both Queen Margrethe and Queen Mary, revealed, Her Majesty has always respected the traditions of the crown. But she also sees the world changing. The royal house must evolve with it, or risk irrelevance. Another palace figure, closer to Queen Mary's inner circle, offered a more emotional take. This isn't about rebellion. It's about responsibility. She feels the weight of her role. She wants the monarchy to be a force for good, not a relic. There are whispers of Queen Mary pushing for full financial transparency of the royal household, clarifying the roles of extended family members in public duties, reducing ceremonial excess during times of public economic hardship, greater autonomy in representing Denmark abroad. Each of these reforms touches on long-held royal customs, making Mary's push both daring and delicate. King Frederik X, her husband and Denmark's monarch since early 2024, has thus far remained silent. Some view this as support, a quiet endorsement of his wife's courage. Others see it as hesitation, suggesting he is torn between preserving the crown's equilibrium and supporting his consort's modern ideals. A retired royal advisor hinted, Frederik respects Mary, but he is deeply loyal to the institution shaped by his mother, Queen Margrethe. He is the bridge between two visions. Indeed, Queen Margrethe's reign was defined by diplomacy, consistency, and tradition. Mary's trajectory leans more towards reform, emotion, and public connection. The difference in tone is subtle, but powerful. Much of Queen Mary's drive for reform stems from her work with the Mary Foundation, launched in 2007. The foundation's focus, combating social isolation, domestic violence, and bullying, has given Mary first-hand insight into the struggles of ordinary Danes. Her work with shelters, children's centers, and immigrant integration programs has given her an authentic voice in matters of public welfare. She has seen the cracks in the system, and now wants to ensure the monarchy is not part of the problem, but part of the solution. Polls released just days after the announcement show a nation split, but leaning in Mary's favor. 67% of Danes support measured reforms in the monarchy. 23% feel Mary's move is too political for a royal. 10% remain undecided. International outlets from Le Figaro to The Guardian have praised her courage. Still, there is dissent. Some members of the older nobility have reportedly voiced disapproval, worried that Mary's reforms could undermine the mystery and dignity of the crown. In the days following the announcement, Queen Mary's fashion choices have sparked analysis. During a recent solo event, she wore a reworked version of a gown first worn during her early years as crown princess, a nod to her journey, and perhaps a reminder of her humble beginnings. At a meeting with youth leaders, she wore no tiara, no pearls, only a minimal brooch representing unity. A message, perhaps, that she stands not above, but beside, the people. Mary is not the first queen to challenge the status quo. Queen Victoria reshaped Britain's monarchy into a family-centered institution. Queen Wilhelmina of the Netherlands redefined national resilience during war. Queen Letizia of Spain has pushed for a more relatable, modern royal image. In Denmark, however, such bold moves are rare. Mary's legacy could join these historic queens, or stand alone as the first of a new kind. Prince Christian, now 19 and heir to the throne, is said to be closely watching his mother's actions. A family insider shared, he adores her. He sees her strength, but he also knows that one day, he will inherit whatever monarchy she leaves behind. Princess Isabella, newly 18, has already shown signs of emotional maturity and public confidence. Will she follow in Mary's footsteps? Potential address. There is speculation Queen Mary may deliver a public televised speech, something unprecedented in Denmark. Royal reorganization. Expect possible reshuffling of royal duties and possibly trimming the monarchy's public face. Public forums. Queen Mary may launch listening tours across Denmark to hear from citizens directly. Each of these moves could either elevate her status or draw intense scrutiny. Queen Mary of Denmark has long been admired for her beauty, elegance, and compassion. But now, she is revealing something deeper: moral courage. In a time when monarchies worldwide struggle to find relevance, Mary has chosen not to retreat, but to confront. Not to follow tradition blindly, but to ask if tradition still serves its people. This announcement is not a scandal, it is a statement of principle. A call to rethink royalty. A reminder that even behind palace walls, a heart can beat fiercely for justice. Whether she succeeds or not, Queen Mary has already made history. She has shown that silence is not always golden, and that sometimes, the most regal act of all is to speak. The streets of Copenhagen buzzed with conversations as citizens grappled with the implications of Queen Mary's announcement. In Nyhavn, a historic harbor district, locals gathered in cafes, discussing the potential changes to their cherished monarchy. "It's about time the monarchy reflects modern values," said Lars Jensen, a 34-year-old teacher. Queen Mary represents a bridge between tradition and progress. Conversely, some expressed concern. Ingrid Sorensen, a 68-year-old retiree, remarked, "The monarchy has always been a symbol of stability. Rapid changes might unsettle that balance." Royal historian Drive, Soren Christensen provided context. Queen Mary's call for modernization isn't unprecedented. Monarchies have evolved over centuries to remain relevant. This could be Denmark's turn. Political analyst Met Home added, "The Queen's approach aligns with global shifts towards transparency and accountability in institutions. It's a strategic move to ensure the monarchy's longevity." However, constitutional expert Professor Henrik Larsson cautioned, any reforms must be carefully balanced to maintain the monarchy's apolitical stance, ensuring it doesn't overstep its ceremonial role. Looking back, Denmark's monarchy has weathered transformations. King Christian IX, dubbed the father-in-law of Europe, navigated complex international relations in the 19th century. More recently, Queen Margrethe II's reign saw the monarchy embrace cultural and artistic endeavors, enhancing its public image. Queen Mary's initiative echoes these adaptive strategies, signaling a proactive approach to contemporary challenges. International media outlets have taken note. The Guardian praised Queen Mary's foresight, stating, "Her actions could set a precedent for other constitutional monarchies grappling with modern relevance." Meanwhile, Le Monde highlighted the delicate balance she must maintain, cautioning against potential politicization. In Australia, Queen Mary's birthplace, the announcement sparked pride and interest. Australian Prime Minister expressed support, noting, "Queen Mary's commitment to progress reflects the values we hold dear." As the royal house deliberates on the proposed reforms, several scenarios emerge: incremental changes, gradual implementation of transparency measures and modernization efforts, maintaining public support while preserving tradition. Public referendum. Engaging citizens directly through a vote on specific reforms, enhancing democratic legitimacy. Institutional resistance. Potential pushback from traditionalists within the monarchy, leading to internal negotiations and compromises. The coming months will be pivotal in determining the monarchy's trajectory. Queen Mary's announcement has ignited a national conversation, challenging Denmark to reconcile its rich royal heritage with the demands of a modern society. Her vision for a transparent and